New currency. It's more valuable than British pound.
It's more valuable than gold, I think.
Pretty much avocados here. Avocados.
I think I have 580. Thanks, man. 580. Okay, I shall raise small to 80,000.
I really see Charlie Carrel mixing it up from a small blind. It's almost like he wants to make a statement about it. He raised 7 deuce suited earlier from the small as well. So.
Peeks over, taking a close look. He's got the talk game going. He's having fun. Patrik Peel here.
How many people do you think have ever made a correct decision against Patrik Antonius based on a live read?
It's low. It's super low.
Has to be pretty low.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, he's definitely played some live poker.
In this episode of Weekly Poker Hand, folds around to Charlie Carrel, who gets out of line, he battles. He's a big proponent of live tells and live reads and non-GTO play. He makes the non-GTO pre-flop open with the 8-4 offsuit against Patrik Antonius. If we are nearing a payout bubble, then perhaps this play is fine. It is worth noting 28 players remain out of 117. And as a bigger stack, Charlie does get to apply a lot of pressure to Antonius. That said, I don't know. I'm a little scared of Patrik Antonius. I would probably just fold. Maybe limp, maybe. But whatever. He decides to raise it up. He's not a chicken like me. Over to Antonius with the king 6 offsuit. 20 big blinds deep. He has an easy call. He makes the easy call. Let's head to the flop.
gets the best of it. Bottom pair for Patrik and position. Very important here.
Charlie came to play today, mixing it up, got the suit on. Coming at one of the, as you mentioned, legends, old school, been around. Patrik Antonius. Charlie can't be older than, what, 26 or 5? I mean, I think he's a young guy. Probably watched Patrik growing up playing poker, and here he is just ripping in bluffs at the high stakes stream on Twitch. He streams on Twitch as well. Charlie Carrel plays high stakes when he does stream. I think it's been a while, but he has a Twitch stream, I know that.
Yeah, definitely does a lot of cool things.
Charlie flops zip and pip, absolutely nothing. He does have, I suppose, a backdoor straight draw. He has an overcard to the 6, that's something. So he goes for a bet. I think this is a fine spot to make a small bet because you have a hand that is just done. And if Antonius has nothing, as he will very often have with a hand like King 5 or King 7 or Queen 4, he's just going to fold immediately and you're going to win a nice little pot with almost no risk. You have to realize Charlie's only betting 2 big blinds in this scenario. So if he picks up the pot pretty much ever, it's going to be a nice amount of profit going his way. So he does go for the bet. Antonius has bottom pair with an overcard. You absolutely cannot fold this hand in position. He calls. Let's go to the turn.
And content, also helping people and talking a lot of poker.
Yep.
Really respect that.
Yeah, I think he's done some bankroll challenges, and he definitely is engages the poker community. Very interesting hand going here. Patrick's not a guy I'd want to just like be stone bluffing. He does pick up some equity here, but it's he does just kind of look like he knows what's going on at the live arena.
The turn brings the 5 of hearts, and with a pot of 320,000 and Charlie having a gut shot, I'm kind of surprised he didn't go for a bet, because at this point you're probably not going to get a jack or a 9 to fold on the turn, but if you bet small on the turn and then jam the river, I think you actually will be able to get a 6 to fold almost every time and probably a 9 to fold some portion of the time. The issue with checking on the turn is that it takes a lot of the jacks out of Charlie's range, because those are going to be hands that are almost always good enough to bet the turn and then jam the river. So now if you do bet the river, you're probably not going to get a 9 or a 6 to fold ever. And if Antonius does happen to have a 5, he may even decide to hero call, assuming you don't blast it all in for over the size of the pot. So I'm kind of surprised that Charlie did not go for the bet, but he does check. The reason checking is tough is because if you check and Antonius bets, you can't really continue with the gut shot. I mean, maybe you decide to make a overly aggressive check shove all in against a small bet, but I think this is a spot where you probably just rather turn this no showdown value hand into a bluff. But whatever, I'm going to default to Charlie. Charlie gets in there and battles against the best players in the world. I presume he knows what is right. So he checks. Antonius, with his third pair, has, in my mind, a very easy check back. That's exactly what he does, because he just wants to see a cheap showdown. Let's see if he can do it.
And Carrel sort of waves the white flag here.
Does get a free card. And once Patrik checks here, he really kind of plays his hand face up, but that's fine, you know, you still have position. So I think in Charlie's mind, Patrik really has a 6 here, or maybe a weaker 9.
Yeah. This is wow. It does
Wow.
go all in.
I like that.
The river is a brick 2. And Charlie decides to rip it all in. I think if he is going to bet the river, he definitely does want to go big because he's trying to get a 9 or 6 to fold. And as the commentators here say, if he goes for a small bet or a medium bet, he's just going to get snap called by those hands all day, every day. So if you're going to bet, I like the bet. The problem is that the bet just doesn't necessarily seem logical, because I would have presumed a hand like 4-3 would probably bet the turn. And what else really got there? I mean, I don't even know. 9-2 suited, maybe that's a hand that would make some sense. Maybe a slow played set, that would make some sense. But there really aren't that many hands that would love to make a river shove in this spot. And unfortunately for Charlie, there are a lot of busted draws / unpaired high cards that may feel very inclined to go for a shove. So let's see if Antonius can find the hero call.
No one likes to make at the feature like a hero call, bust out hand. This is Patrik's certainly not afraid, and if anyone's capable of making a great call, it's Patrik, but it's a tough spot.
I really like the bet sizing that Charlie uses here. If he would have just gone with like a more conventional bet of 150,000.
Look at the live tell smiling, looking around. Maybe a little reverse tells here.
Yeah.
We see Charlie being relatively loose with his mannerisms, and this is very common for him in live poker. He's not afraid to get in there and chat with his opponents in the middle of hands. And he's also made it clear he's a big proponent of live reads and to some extent trying to manipulate his opponent into doing whatever he wants them to do. What I want to know is that, do you think that there's a whole lot of merit in doing the things that Charlie is doing? Take a second, think about it, and while we're waiting on Antonius to see if he'll find a hero call or not, let me know in the comment section down below.
It's hard to say, and that's actually the advantage of being very lively at the table, right? Like, he's talking a lot, he's smiling, he's asking like non-standard questions. It's really hard to read into somebody's reaction. Like, who knows what he means when he's laughing?
Right.
You really don't know. Ooh, he has a
this
suspicious
is a great
look
hand.
on him, though.
As I have aged and become a slightly wiser poker player, I think there's actually a pretty good amount of merit in the things that Charlie does. I mean, if you watched me recently at the final table, or when I was making the deep run of the PokerStars Caribbean Adventure, I was being pretty loose with my mannerisms, and I was chatting it up with my opponents. I was trying to loosen them up a little bit. And I think there's a lot of merit in doing things that your opponents don't necessarily expect, and that just sometimes throws off people. That said, I'm not sure Antonius is a normal person. He is a robot. Has he made the call yet? I don't know. Let's get back to the hand, please.
Man, I can't wait to see what he's gonna do. Wow, he's really eyeing him down, though.
It's so, I think in his mind, it's strange. It's like it is a suspicious line. Bet, check, jam, you know. And time bank cards have been used, multiple.
I don't even want to say out loud that I think he might call, because that would take away the sickness of this call, like how good it would be.
That's true. It's an insane. The fact that he's dialed in. He's really thinking about it, and it would be an absurd call. Absurdly strong call. From today so far, I don't think I've seen anyone use even 2 time banks. Like this is certainly not a usual thing. Everyone's played very fast. Even pre-flop, flops, turns. There has been no tanking. This is far from a tank. This is a high-level hand. Oh, hello.
What a call.
Welcome.
Bueno.
Wow. Patrik Antonius.
That is a call.
It took you so long.
It took you so long. That's good.
Wow, what a call by Patrik
Hello.
Antonius. Full double up for him. 1.2 million now.
You too. Man,
Welcome
I
to
mean,
London.
you just never stop toying.
After much deliberation and many time banks burned, Antonius does find the hero call. Good job, good work. I don't know if I would have made the call here, but look, anytime there's a lot of busted draw / unpaired hands that could go for the bet, against players who get in their battle, I'm pretty inclined to hero call as well. And this is not actually an uncommon play for Patrik Antonius. I have another video, we'll link to it, where he soul reads his opponent and makes the call with $825,000 on the line. He is not afraid to get in there and make big calls when he thinks it is right. If there's ever a person you should probably not try to run too many big bluffs against, I think it is Antonius, because he likes the call button. That's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, click the like and subscribe button down below. Thank you all for being here. And if you do decide to make a giant all-in bluff on the river, I hope your opponent lets you have the pot.